What if the most important decision of your life was not a matter of luck or chemistry, but of profound, clear-eyed, and rational choice? What if, instead of being a hopeful gambler in the game of love, you could become a master architect, capable of choosing a partner with the wisdom and foresight to build a life of shared strength and virtue? Today, we will learn the 7 great rules for this noble art. 7 rules for choosing high-value women, compiled and published by Stoic Power. Lesson 1. Know your core standards. Imagine a master shipbuilder, a man renowned for constructing the strongest and most seaworthy vessels in the world. Before he even lays the first piece of timber, before he even draws the first line on a blueprint, he engages in the most crucial step of the entire process. He sits in quiet contemplation and defines, with absolute and uncompromising clarity, the core principles of his craft. He writes down his non-negotiable standards. This ship will be built only from the strongest oak. Its joinery will be perfect, even in the parts no one will ever see. Its design will be optimized for stability in the fiercest storm, not for speed in a calm sea. This list of standards is his constitution, his guiding star. It is the unwavering foundation upon which his entire masterpiece will be built. The inner conflict for so many men is that we attempt to build the most important vessel of our lives, our romantic partnership, without ever having written our own constitution. We drift into the shipyard of relationships with a vague hope for a good ship, but with no clear standards, no blueprint, and no idea of what we are truly trying to build. The painful and often disastrous problem with this approach is that if you do not have your own clearly defined standards, you will inevitably and unconsciously adopt the standards of the world around you, or worse, the standards of the person you are with. You become a man without a map, a shipbuilder without a blueprint. You find yourself drawn to partners based on fleeting qualities like physical attraction, social status, or the intoxicating feeling of being wanted, while completely ignoring the deeper, more essential qualities of character that are the true foundation of a lasting and healthy relationship. This leads to immense frustration and wasted time. We build a ship that looks beautiful in the harbor, but it breaks apart in the first storm, and we are left wondering why, never realizing that the fatal flaw was our own lack of a clear guiding set of principles from the very beginning. The transformative solution is to become the master shipbuilder. It is the profound and essential Stoic practice of turning inward first, of sitting down in the quiet workshop of your own mind and deliberately, rationally, and unapologetically defining your own non-negotiable core standards for a high-value partner. The core Stoic idea is that a wise and purposeful life is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. And a wise choice can only be made if you have a clear set of criteria to measure it against. The Stoics were not passive observers of life. They were active participants who believed that our most important duty is to apply reason and virtue to all of our decisions, especially the decision of who to share our life with. To choose a partner without first defining what constitutes a good partner is, to a Stoic, an act of supreme irrationality. The benefit of this is that it transforms you from a hopeful, reactive drifter in the sea of dating into a calm, proactive, and purposeful captain. You know what you are looking for. This clarity acts as a powerful filter, allowing you to quickly and peacefully disengage from connections that are not aligned with your values, and to invest your time and energy wisely in those that are. It is the foundation of all good decision-making in relationships. The actionable step to begin this process is to create your relationship constitution. Take out a journal and dedicate a page to this. At the top, write, "My non-negotiable standards for a high-value partner." Then force yourself to identify and write down 3 to 5 core character traits that are absolutely essential for you. These should not be superficial preferences like hair color or hobbies. They must be deep qualities of character. Examples might include unwavering honesty and integrity, emotional stability and resilience, a shared commitment to personal growth, kindness and compassion for others, a strong sense of personal responsibility. This written constitution is your blueprint. It is the set of standards against which all potential partners must be measured. I urge you to begin drafting this document this week. Do not enter the shipyard again until you know exactly what kind of ship you intend to build. This constitution is your guide. The first and most important standard on that list, the one that can never be compromised, is our next topic. We will now explore why respect is non-negotiable. Before we continue, please subscribe to the Stoic Power Channel to commit to the path of becoming the master architect of your own life. Lesson 2. Respect is non-negotiable. Imagine you are building a great and beautiful temple, a sacred structure designed to last for 1,000 years. You have the finest marble for the columns, the strongest cedar for the beams, and the most beautiful art for the walls. But the very foundation upon which you are building is made of crumbling, unstable sandstone. It doesn't matter how beautiful the rest of the structure is. It doesn't matter how sincere your efforts are. Sooner or later, the weak foundation will crack, and the entire magnificent temple will inevitably collapse into a pile of ruin. In any relationship, mutual respect is that foundation. It is the absolute, non-negotiable bedrock upon which everything else, love, trust, intimacy, partnership, must be built. The inner conflict for many of us is that we fall in love with the beautiful decorations of a relationship, the intense chemistry, the fun dates, the physical attraction, and we willfully ignore the dangerous cracks we see forming in the foundation of respect. The painful and tragic problem is that a relationship without a deep, consistent, and mutual foundation of respect is doomed to fail. It may look good on the surface for a time, but it is a hollow structure, and it will not be able to withstand the inevitable storms of life. A lack of respect can manifest in many ways, some overt and some subtle. It can be in a condescending tone of voice, a pattern of dismissive comments about your ambitions, a casual disregard for your time, or a consistent failure to listen. We often make excuses for these foundational cracks. We tell ourselves, they don't really mean it, or it's just the way they are. But every time we tolerate an act of disrespect, we are actively participating in the weakening of our own foundation. We are silently communicating that we do not respect ourselves enough to demand respectful treatment, and this only invites more of it. The transformative solution is to adopt the mindset of the master builder, to see mutual respect not as a desirable bonus in a relationship, but as the single most critical, non-negotiable component of its foundation. You must become a vigilant inspector of this foundation, and you must have the courage to walk away from any structure, no matter how beautiful it seems on the surface, that is being built on the crumbling sandstone of disrespect. The core Stoic idea that supports this is the virtue of justice, which in a relationship context means a fair and equitable exchange between two sovereign individuals. A relationship where respect does not flow in both directions is, by its nature, an unjust and unbalanced one. But even more fundamentally, the Stoics' primary duty is to their own character and self-respect. To willingly remain in a dynamic where you are consistently disrespected is a profound act of self-betrayal. It is a failure to be the guardian of your own inner citadel. The benefit of making respect your number one non-negotiable is that it acts as a powerful and highly effective filter. It will immediately disqualify a huge number of unhealthy and incompatible partners, saving you immense time and future pain. It ensures that any relationship you do choose to build has the potential to be a truly strong and lasting structure. The actionable step to implement this is the zero-tolerance policy. First, you must clearly define for yourself, in your journal, what specific behaviors constitute a violation of your non-negotiable standard of respect. Be specific. Then, you must make a firm, private vow to yourself that you will have a zero-tolerance policy for these foundational cracks. This does not mean you explode in anger at the first sign of a slight. It means you will address it calmly, clearly, and immediately. For example, if your partner uses a condescending tone, you will calmly say, "I need you to speak to me with respect." That tone is not acceptable. If the pattern continues, you must have the courage to enforce the ultimate consequence, which is to walk away from the faulty construction project altogether. This is you, as the master builder, refusing to build your life's temple on a foundation of crumbling rock. I urge you to define your zero-tolerance policy this week. Never compromise on the foundation. Once you have a foundation of respect, you must look for the qualities of character that will build a strong structure. Our next lesson is on the art of watching for quiet strength. If you believe that respect is non-negotiable, please like this video as a sign of your commitment to building a strong life. Lesson 3. Watch for quiet strength. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a great ocean, observing two different phenomena. The first is the crashing surf on the shoreline. It is loud, it is dramatic, it is full of chaotic motion and spray. It demands your attention with its constant roar. It is an impressive display of surface-level energy. The second phenomenon is the tide. The tide is silent. It is slow. Its movement is almost imperceptible from one moment to the next. Yet, it is the tide that has the true, immense, and world-shaping power to lift entire fleets of ships and to carve coastlines over centuries. The crashing surf is a momentary spectacle. The silent tide is a fundamental force. The inner conflict for us when choosing a partner is that we are often captivated and impressed by the loud, spectacular qualities of the crashing surf, while we completely overlook the quiet, profound, and far more important power of the silent tide. The painful problem is that our society often glorifies the crashing surf of personality, extroversion, charm, charisma, and a loud, performative confidence. We are drawn to people who make a lot of noise, who have a big, dramatic presence. And while these qualities can be attractive, they tell us absolutely nothing about a person's true inner strength or their ability to handle adversity. A person can be the life of the party, but completely lack the resilience to handle a real-life crisis. They can be incredibly charming, but have no inner substance. By mistaking the surface for the depths, we often choose partners who are exciting in the calm weather of the early days, but who are completely useless, or even dangerous, in a real storm. The transformative solution is to train your perception to look beyond the crashing surf of a charismatic personality and to learn to recognize the signs of the silent tide. It is the art of watching for the subtle but powerful indicators of a quiet, deep, and resilient inner strength. The core Stoic idea is that true strength is not a performance. It is a quality of character. The Stoic sage is not the loudest man in the room. He is often the quietest. His strength is not in his words, but in his composure. It is not in his bravado, but in his resilience. When choosing a partner, a Stoic looks for this same quiet strength. He is not impressed by the surface, he is interested in the depths. He looks for a partner who is a mountain, not a volcano. The benefit of this is that you choose a partner who is a true asset in the long and often difficult voyage of life. You choose someone who has the inner resources to be a source of stability, not just a source of excitement. You build a relationship that can not only survive the storms, but can actually grow stronger through them. The actionable step to practice this is to become an adversity observer. The true test of a person's character is not how they act when things are easy, but how they act when things are difficult. For 1 month, your task is to simply observe. When your potential partner faces a small or large adversity, a stressful day at work, a frustrating setback, a piece of bad news, how do they respond? Do they descend into a storm of complaint, blame, and victimhood, the crashing surf? Or do they meet the challenge with a sense of calm, responsibility, and a focus on solutions, the silent, powerful tide? Do not judge them or try to fix them. Simply observe their response to adversity. Their reaction to pressure is the most honest and reliable indicator of their true inner strength. I urge you to become a quiet, patient observer. The tide will reveal its power to those who are willing to watch for it. The most common and deceptive form of crashing surf is often found in surface beauty. How do we learn to filter this out to see what truly matters? Our next lesson is on this very topic. Please comment below and share one sign of quiet strength that you value in a person. Lesson 4. Filter out surface beauty. Imagine a skilled botanist searching for a rare and valuable medicinal plant in a vast, colorful jungle. The jungle is filled with thousands of beautiful, exotic flowers. They are brightly colored, they have captivating shapes, and they immediately draw the eye. The novice, the amateur, would be instantly enchanted by these flowers. He would fill his basket with them, convinced he had found the most valuable plants in the forest, only to discover later that they are useless or even poisonous. The master botanist, however, is not so easily deceived. He appreciates the beauty of the flowers, but he is not distracted by them. He is looking for something far more important. He is looking for the humble, often plain-looking plant, whose true value lies not in its outward appearance, but in the powerful, healing properties hidden within its roots and leaves. He knows how to filter out the seductive but superficial beauty to find the true, lasting value. The inner conflict for us when choosing a partner is that we are almost always the novice botanist. We are easily and powerfully enchanted by the bright, captivating flower of physical beauty. The painful problem is that our culture places an immense and disproportionate value on surface beauty. We are biologically and socially conditioned to be powerfully attracted to it. And while appreciating beauty is a natural and wonderful part of the human experience, the problem arises when we make it the primary or sole criterion for choosing a life partner. We become so mesmerized by the beautiful flower that we completely fail to investigate the nature of the plant itself. Is it resilient? Does it have a good character? Is it, in fact, poisonous? A decision based primarily on surface beauty is a shallow decision, and it is a gamble of the highest order. It is choosing a partner based on the one quality that is absolutely, positively guaranteed by the laws of nature to fade over time. The transformative solution is to become the master botanist. It is not to become blind to beauty, but to develop the wisdom to see it as just one minor quality among many. It is the art of training yourself to filter out the dazzling noise of surface beauty so that you can clearly see the far more important and far more lasting qualities of a person's character. The core Stoic idea is that the only true beauty is the beauty of a virtuous and well-ordered soul. Physical beauty, to the Stoics, was a preferred indifferent. It is nice to have, but it has absolutely no bearing on a person's real worth or their capacity to be a good partner. A wise man, therefore, trains his mind to be impressed not by the symmetry of a face, but by the symmetry of a person's character. He is attracted to virtue, not just to form. The benefit of this is that you make a much wiser, more sustainable, and more fulfilling choice of partner. You choose a person for reasons that will last a lifetime, not just for a season. You build a connection based on the deep, resonant beauty of character, a beauty that, unlike physical beauty, only grows deeper and more profound with the passage of time. The actionable step to practice this is the character over cover exercise. This is a reflective journaling practice. First, think of a person in your life whom you deeply admire and respect, but for whom physical attraction is not a factor, perhaps a wise grandparent, a respected mentor, or a historical figure. Write down the specific character traits that you admire in them. What is it about their being that you find so valuable? Then, create a checklist of these character beauty traits. This becomes your new standard of what is truly attractive. The next time you feel a powerful physical attraction to someone, you must pause and consciously compare them to your new checklist. Ask yourself, beyond the beautiful flower, does this person possess the qualities of character that I truly, deeply admire and value? This practice is not about denying attraction. It is about adding depth to it. It is about training yourself to look for the medicinal plant, not just the pretty flower. I urge you to create your checklist this week. Define what true beauty means to you. One of the most beautiful qualities of character is emotional discipline. How do we observe this in a potential partner? Our next lesson explores this crucial area. To support our channel's mission to promote inner value, please subscribe to Stoic Power. Lesson 5. Observe emotional discipline. Imagine you are the captain of a ship, choosing your first mate for a long and dangerous voyage around the world. You are interviewing two candidates. The first candidate is passionate, emotional, and highly charismatic. He speaks of his love for the sea with great fire. But you also notice that he gets angry and defensive when you ask him a challenging question, and he seems overly excited and optimistic, ignoring the potential dangers of the voyage. The second candidate is much quieter. She is calm, measured, and thoughtful. When you ask her a challenging question, she pauses, considers it, and gives a calm, rational answer. She acknowledges the dangers of the voyage with a sober realism, but she also expresses a quiet confidence in her ability to handle them. The inner conflict for us is that we are often drawn to the passion of the first candidate while overlooking the profound strength of the second. Which of these two would you want by your side when the hurricane hits? The painful problem is that we often mistake emotional volatility for passion and a lack of emotional control for authentic self-expression. We are drawn to partners who have big, dramatic emotional displays because it can feel exciting and intense. But a person who is a slave to their own emotions, who is easily angered, who is prone to anxiety and panic, who is thrown into despair by small setbacks, is not a reliable partner for the long, difficult voyage of life. Their emotional chaos will inevitably become your chaos. Their lack of self-control will constantly create storms in the calm waters of your own life. You will find yourself in the exhausting and impossible role of being their emotional manager, constantly trying to calm their storms, a job that is not yours and one that will ultimately sink your own ship. The transformative solution is to learn to see emotional discipline not as a lack of feeling, but as a profound and essential strength. It is to deliberately choose a first mate who has demonstrated that they are the calm, capable master of their own vessel. The core Stoic idea is that a well-ordered mind, a mind ruled by reason, is the highest human achievement. The Stoics were not unfeeling. They experienced the full range of human emotions, but they did not believe in being ruled by them. A person of character, in their view, is one who can feel a strong emotion without being compelled to act on it in a destructive or irrational way. This self-control, or temperance, is one of the 4 cardinal virtues. It is a sign of immense inner strength. The benefit of choosing a partner with this quality is that you are choosing a true partner, not a perpetual passenger who needs to be cared for. You are choosing a person who can be a source of stability and strength in a crisis, not a source of additional chaos. You are choosing to build a life on a foundation of peace, not on a foundation of constant emotional drama. The actionable step is to practice storm observation. Life will inevitably provide small storms or tests for you to observe. Your task is to simply watch how a potential partner responds to these. For example, when you are stuck in a frustrating traffic jam, what is their reaction? Do they descend into a rage of cursing and complaining, or do they accept it with calm and patience? When you have a minor disagreement, are they capable of discussing the issue rationally, or do they immediately resort to personal attacks or emotional meltdowns? When they face a setback at work, do they respond with panic and blame, or with a calm, problem-solving mindset? You are not judging them for having feelings. You are observing what they do with their feelings. This data is an incredibly reliable predictor of how they will handle the much larger storms that life will inevitably send your way. I urge you to become a quiet, patient storm observer. Look for the person who has already demonstrated that they are a skilled and calm captain of their own ship. It is not enough to be calm in the present. A true partnership requires a shared destination. Our next lesson is on the importance of seeking a shared vision forward. Please like this video if you value the strength of emotional discipline. Lesson 6. Seek shared vision forward. Imagine 2 powerful, skilled rowers in a boat. If they are both rowing with immense strength but in completely different and opposing directions, the boat will not go forward. It will simply spin in chaotic, frustrating circles, going nowhere despite the tremendous expenditure of energy. For the journey to be successful, it is not enough that each rower is individually strong. They must be rowing in perfect, harmonious unison toward the same agreed-upon destination. A long-term relationship is like this boat. The inner conflict is that we often become so focused on the initial chemistry and compatibility with a partner how much fun we have, how attracted we are, that we completely fail to have the crucial conversation about the destination. We are so busy enjoying the ride that we don't realize we are just spinning in circles. The painful problem is that if you and your partner have fundamentally different core values and visions for your life, your journey together will inevitably become a constant, exhausting power struggle. You will be pulling in one direction, and they will be pulling in another. One of you wants a life of adventure and risk. The other wants a life of stability and security. One of you values personal growth and learning above all else. The other values comfort and entertainment. These are not minor differences in preference. They are fundamental differences in destination. A relationship without a shared vision is a boat without a rudder, destined for the rocks of perpetual conflict and resentment. The transformative solution is to recognize that compatibility is not just about shared hobbies. It is about shared philosophy. It is the wisdom to choose a partner who is not just a pleasant companion for today, but a committed co-pilot for the long and difficult journey toward a shared and meaningful future. The core Stoic idea is that the ultimate goal of life is to live with virtue and to flourish as a human being. A wise partnership, therefore, is one where both individuals are committed to helping each other on this path. It is a shared journey toward a higher purpose. A Stoic would seek a partner whose definition of a good life is fundamentally aligned with his own. The benefit of this is that your relationship becomes more than just a source of comfort or pleasure. It becomes a powerful engine for your mutual growth. Your combined energy is not wasted in conflict. It is synergistically focused on moving you both forward. You are not just partners, you are allies in the most important project of your lives. The actionable step is the destination dialogue. At the appropriate time in a relationship, you must have the courage to initiate a calm, curious, and honest conversation about your deeper life visions. This is not a checklist for an interview. It is a process of mutual discovery. Ask open-ended questions like, when you think about your life in 10 years, what is most important to you? What does a successful life look like and feel like to you? What are the core values that you want to guide your major life decisions? And then, you must listen, deeply and without judgment, to their answers. Your job is to assess whether your destinations are fundamentally compatible. Do not try to convince or convert them to your vision. Simply observe whether your paths are pointed in the same general direction. I encourage you to have the courage to initiate this dialogue when the time is right. It is better to know you are in different boats now than to discover it in the middle of a storm. All these choices and observations must be made from a place of clarity. Our final lesson is on the art of choosing with inner calm. To support our channel, please comment below and share one aspect of your shared vision that is important to you. Lesson 7. Choose with inner calm. Imagine you are in a vast and chaotic marketplace, filled with 1,000 vendors, all shouting for your attention. Each one is selling something bright, shiny, and alluring. It is a place of immense sensory overload. If you enter this marketplace in a state of frantic, impulsive neediness, you are almost certain to make a poor choice. You will be easily swayed by the loudest salesman. You will be dazzled by the flashiest object, and you will likely end up spending all of your money on something cheap, useless, and ultimately unsatisfying. Now, imagine you are a wise and seasoned merchant entering the same chaotic marketplace. You do not rush in. You first sit at a quiet cafe on the edge of the square. You calm your mind. You consult the short, precise list of the 1 or 2 truly valuable things you came to find. You enter the marketplace with a profound sense of inner calm and a clear, singular purpose. You are immune to the noise and the hype because you know exactly what you are looking for. The inner conflict for us when choosing a life partner is that we are almost always the frantic, needy shopper in the chaotic marketplace of modern dating. The painful problem is that we often make the most important decision of our lives from the worst possible emotional state. We make our choices out of a fear of being alone, out of a sense of loneliness and desperation, or out of an intoxicating but fleeting infatuation. we are in a state of profound inner chaos, and we are hoping that a new relationship will be the magical thing that finally brings us peace. But a decision made from a place of chaos can only ever lead to more chaos. We choose poorly because we are not in a state to choose wisely. We grab the flashiest object offered by the loudest vendor, and we are then shocked when we get it home and realize it is not what we wanted at all. The transformative solution is the final and most important rule of all. To understand that you can only make a wise and clear choice of partner when you yourself are in a state of profound inner calm and self-sufficiency. It is the law that says you must first become the wise merchant before you ever enter the marketplace. The core Stoic idea is that a well-ordered mind is the prerequisite for a well-ordered life. The Stoics would argue that you must first do the hard, internal work of building your own inner citadel, of finding your own source of peace and self-worth, before you are in any position to choose a partner wisely. A person who is seeking a relationship to complete them or to save them from their own inner turmoil is not ready for a healthy relationship. The benefit of this is that you will make your choice from a position of wholeness, not from a position of neediness. You will choose a partner not because you need them to make you happy, but because they are a wonderful addition to your already happy and complete life. This is the foundation for the most stable, healthy, and resilient partnerships imaginable. The actionable step is to make a solitude vow. If you are currently feeling a sense of neediness or desperation in your search for a partner, you must have the courage to do the most counterintuitive and powerful thing of all. You must stop searching. You will make a vow to yourself to take a significant and defined period of time, perhaps 3 or 6 months, away from dating and the pursuit of a relationship. During this time, you will dedicate yourself with monastic focus to all the other lessons we have discussed. You will build your own character. You will get your own life in order. You will cultivate your own inner peace. This period of purposeful solitude is you, sitting at the quiet cafe, calming your mind and consulting your list before you enter the marketplace. I urge you, if you're in a state of neediness, to give yourself this profound gift. Find your own calm center first, and from that place of quiet strength and wholeness, you will be able to choose a partner with the calm, clear-eyed wisdom of a true master. We have journeyed through the 7 great rules of the Stoic path to choosing a life partner, from knowing your own core standards to the final, profound wisdom of choosing only from a place of inner calm. This journey teaches us that the key to finding a high-value woman is to first dedicate yourself with unwavering commitment to becoming a high-value man. Thank you for taking this time to explore this philosophy of wise and deliberate choice. If this video has served you on your journey, please like this video, comment with your greatest takeaway, and subscribe to the Stoic Power channel for more wisdom on building a life of profound strength, integrity, and peace.